Right, hello my friends, welcome back to This Week on the Internet. Over the course of the last 7 days, Ricegum returns, True Geordie offers to scrap Conor McGregor, and Mizzy gets arrested again. Alright, starting off, my friends, you won't believe this. A woman from Wakefield in the United Kingdom has named her son after Abdul, the famous shopkeeper from Wakey Wines.
This is my grandson and his name's Abdul after you.
So, this is your grandson and you called him Abdul?
Abdul, yeah.
Oh, thank you very much, Abdul.
Okay, so for those listening on audio platforms, looking at him, Abdul, you wouldn't quite expect him to be called Abdul. Anyway, moving on. Also this week, Ricegum, he's back, he's streaming on Twitch, and he has responded to Jake Paul's claims that he has no money and is working at McDonald's since leaving YouTube. Now, that's a big, tasty story.
You're telling me that Ricegum's not working at McDonald's right now?
Stop that.
Bro, guaranteed.
Stop that.
There's not a shot in hell that Ricegum has $1 to his name.
That's crazy. Nah, man, that is crazy. I mean, people might think that. I mean, think about it, guys. If I made all my money, like, if I post a video to make money, right? And then I stop making videos, then you're like, oh, he doesn't have money coming in. And then also, Jake lived in LA, I lived in LA, and I guess Jake knows how expensive. Bro, life is expensive. Motherfuckers say it's expensive to just exist.
Right says he's been doing crypto stuff since leaving, and if he's bought anything Jake's promoted, he probably is broke. Moving on, my friends, this is Quenlin Blackwell, and this week a botched Botox job left both of her eyebrows looking like Nike ticks.
Y'all, I got Botox in my forehead, and I think something happened. Oh my God, why is they both going up like Nike swoops? Yeah!
Good Lord, that's either a filter or a lawsuit. My friends, there is only one thing you can do when a beauty parlor turns your eyebrows into Nike swooshes. Just sue it. Just sue it. Just... Anyway, dodgy forehead filler. That'll raise a few eyebrows. Luckily, Quenlin took it well. She's got a stiff upper lip, which was given to her by the same beautician. Also this week, Conor McGregor and Mr. Brian True Geordie have came to blows. This is a thoroughly entertaining topic, lads. Strap yourself in. Basically, so the story is, Brian made a bit of a video about him, like, going off the rails a couple of weeks ago. Conor seems to have seen it this week, and he responded with a very angry voice note.
Who the fuck are you? You little Bourne's victim looking thing. You little feminine pussy of a thing. Scaldy, fat, estrogen head.
Apparently the UFC are willing to accept that as a positive drugs test. Look, there's a lot of things you can call Brian. I'm not sure feminine is one of those, though. Estrogen head, however, I have to say I'm a fan of. No clue what it means, but it's got a bit of je ne sais quoi.
Estrogen.
What do you mean estrogen? Estrogen? You say estrogen?
It's estrogen.
What do you mean it's estrogen?
That's
it's estrogen.
It's not.
Comments down below. It's fucking estrogen. Estrogen. Estrogen.
It's estrogen.
It's fucking estrogen, you idiot.
It's not.
Siri, how do you pronounce estrogen?
So make sure to stay tuned and consider subscribing for more learning. How do
You ready?
say it? Estrogen.
Fuck! Anyway, moving on. Brian then responded to the voice memo and offered to give him a fight.
I would pick Conor McGregor up like a shopping bag with one arm. He is so small compared to me. And look, if you want to do a charity fight, anything, MMA, boxing, I don't really give a shit because I'm literally a giant compared to you. We'll donate the money to burns victims.
Let me know in the comments down below who you think would win. I would like to see them side by side. I think Brian's a lot bigger. So I think my money would be on him, but what if Conor just ran round him and gave him a quick 1-2 up and then knackered him out that way? Let us know, lads. What do you think? Who wins that fight? I would fucking pay to see that, though. Also, my friends, big-time streamer Ludwig here is planning to auction off everything he owns for charity. The proceeds go to Ricegum to help him buy some new clothes and get back on his feet. To be fair, the bloke does own a B-Day company, so he's very experienced in getting rid of shit. Moving on. Mizzy, the kid who got arrested last week for breaking into a very affluent-looking couple's home.
James, come to the front door right now, please.
James.
Got arrested again this week on the roof of an Iceland. Hey, Ian, what does a policeman say when he arrests someone on the roof of an Iceland? Freeze!
I've been in talks with the Tate brothers. Me, Tristan and Andrew have been in talks and they want to support me and I'm seeing it like it's all genuine.
Jesus, that's when you know you're fucked. So, we had a meeting with an audio agency this week, didn't we, Ian? Basically the people we need to get this show printing cash. And basically, they say our audio numbers stink, right? And basically, we need them to be good because that's what you put the podcast ads on. So, our audio numbers, we're doing about 25k listens on like podcast platforms, and we're doing fucking 500,000 on YouTube, which is class, like way better than we ever thought this show was going to do. The problem is, YouTube are onto us. Basically, you remember last episode when I was like, oh, I'm being really clever and holding up signs and they're not going to demonetize us this time? They did. Basically, both of our last episodes have been demonetized on upload, and for the last two, we've made 700 quid for those two together for about 1 million views, which is sound, it's no bother, but we can't use it to pay everyone who makes this show possible. So, my friends, the plan. Number one, we are optimizing the show for audio. Basically, we're going to make it so if you consume the show on these platforms like Spotify, Apple Podcasts, whatever, you won't miss anything and you don't need the video. Number two, we do exclusive topics and kind of the juicier stuff on audio that we can't put on YouTube because we'll get stiffed. And number three, my friends, we are posting the show a day early on the platforms shown down below here. It'll be on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, all of the podcast places. So if you want to be first to it, those are the places to go. If only like even 5% of you went over there, it would make a fucking massive difference. Sorry, I'll shut up and get back to the good stuff. Also this week, a Portuguese TikToker gap-yearing in Central America was left speechless after returning from a boat party to find a hostel had burned down. Well, that's Hostel's manager getting fired. But they're getting roasted on TripAdvisor. No. But, I mean, judging by the surrounding buildings, I don't feel it'll be any less comfortable. Moving on. A man has gone viral, an American man, a man from Michigan, after he captured a runaway cow running away on the I-75 in Michigan. The cow weighed a whopping 800 kilos, making it almost double the weight of the average American. It says here, Michigan police were alerted to a runaway cow alongside the Interstate 75 that had just escaped from a nearby pasture. My friends, here we see a strange, simple creature that you rarely see outside of a farm, chasing a cow down a motorway.
I think I roped my first cow when I was 15.
Not a very sensitive way to talk about losing your virginity, Ricky, but fair enough, mate. Next up, a UK-based OnlyFans model has revealed just how much some of her subscribers are willing to pay for her spit. She says it's helped her pay off some of her student debt. A small bottle of her spit costs 350 quid. A note with her kiss is £100. And a bottle of her bathwater, where have we heard that before, costs 200 quid. Letitia says she sells this kind of thing so often, she's running out of bottles. Apparently, says here, her most regular customer lives just around the corner. Spitting distance. Moving on. All right, now, last weekend, it was Radio 1's big weekend, which if you're not from the UK, it's kind of just like a big, very pop-based festival. And there was this band called Royal Blood, who I recently saw described as they make music for accountants who like a bit of rock, and I feel like that's pretty spot on. Anyway, they weren't getting much love from the crowd on their performance, and the lead singer threw a bit of a hissy fit. Listen to this.
Well, I guess I should introduce ourselves, seeing as no one actually knows who we are. We're called Royal Blood, and this is rock music. Who likes rock music? 9 people, brilliant. This is Ben Thatcher, he plays drums. Everybody say hi to Ben, please. We're having to clap ourselves because that was so pathetic. Well done, Ben.
Ooh, I guess I should introduce ourselves because no one knows who we are. I think that's your fault, mate, not theirs. Oh, yeah, posh bloke from West Sussex, whinging because people don't like him as much as they like Lewis Capaldi. That's fucking rock and roll. Dickhead. Moving on. The NELK boys have been under fire this week for deceiving an Amish man that they befriended, flying him to Miami and taking him to a strip club, despite it going against his culture and way of life. I'll be honest, right? I'm not usually a big NELK fan, but I saw their Amish stuff and I thought it was quite funny. Anyway, at the end of it all, the bloke who was apparently called Abe left the club they had him in and booked a driver to take him 20 hours back to where he lived, blocking all of their numbers in the process. NELK have since provided a community update on Abe via a screenshot of a text message from one of Abe's friends. It says, I drove out to see Abe today. He made his confession on Sunday and told the church he took an airplane ride, drank beer, and let people take videos of him. They didn't shun him, they just told the whole community what happened and let him stay. Just wanted to let you all know he's fine. Now, my friends, that's an iMessage here from John Amish. He's not a very fucking good one, is he? Hang on, so they're not allowed to use phones, right? So how did he block their numbers? They've blatantly just made this up and like saved one of their own numbers and put it in the group chat. Like, well, you know, he's not going to see it online anyway. Streamer Ice Poseidon this week planted a kick flag on the highest base camp in the world during like a trekking stream on Mount Everest. The camp is 18,000 feet tall, which for context there is around 1,000 feet longer than his nose. Climbing Everest is notoriously difficult and expensive. People usually lose a lot of money while they're doing it, so kick should feel right at home. Moving on, a government official in India has been suspended after he ordered an entire reservoir be drained so that he could retrieve his phone. Apparently, it took 3 days to drain the whole thing. They had to pump out millions of litres of water after Rajesh Vishwash dropped the device while taking a selfie. They eventually, after all of that, found the device, but it was too waterlogged to work. Damn. Also this week, Cenat and iShowSpeed's new Rumble exclusive show premiered, and they were joined by Teanna Trump. I'm assuming Kai, Speed, and Teanna got on very well. They have a lot in common. They all spend a lot of time screaming on camera. That feels a bit misogynistic. Sorry, lads. We've lowered the tone. We're going to keep lowering the tone, actually. Teanna was the right girl to take camping. She's been responsible for a lot of pitch tents in the past. Sorry. Moving on. Grace Van Dien, she joined a popular esports org this week, and its OG members complained, said it was a bad move by the board, and that she doesn't really fit the brand. It kind of all kicked off. She's since left the company, removed all mention of it from a bio, and privated her Twitter. I guess you could say it was all a phase. Moving on, PewDiePie has reflected on what it was like to meet MrBeast recently, saying that he was very scared to meet the big dog. Apparently, Jimmy had previously called him a fat estrogen head with bitch tits.
That was a fun and strange day. I don't know if the video's up yet, but it should be very fun. I've never been so scared in my entire life, and I thought I was able to be that scared.
Moving on. Okay, so Mr. Phil Schofield, it kicked off with him last week, and he was called I'm not getting those cards out again. Well, today he has done like an interview with The Sun and maybe the Daily Mail, trying to save his career. Now, I haven't seen it, so I thought we could watch it together. That sounds like fun, free watch time.
I absolutely know. There is no question. I did a bad thing. Unprofessional. First time. I know I did that.
Like, first time works... You can't say first time as if you've just been caught speeding.
Because I follow 11,300 people. So I followed him on Twitter. And I think he probably said what everybody says is, thanks for following. And that was that.
It was mine. No.
And so he worked at the show for a bit. We became mates. And then one day...
I shagged him. Like, what do you mean, and then one day? You met him when you were 11. Not when you were 11, when he... Is he vaping? Is that a lost... That's a lost Mary. This is the darkest moment. It may be in the bloke's life. He's trying to save his career by the skin of his teeth, and he still can't put the fucking thing down. They need investigating. I need to start fucking selling them. Like, this is awful. Like, it's... He's done a... I'm not sympathising. Done a horrendous thing. It must be horrible for him to go through it. And I watch this and you feel a little bit of sympathy, but you're like, is it an act? Is it just a PR move? I don't know. I feel like I'm getting played when I feel those things. But, you know, going through the backlash must be fucking rough, but does he deserve? All right, anyway, my friends, that is the end of this episode. Thank you very much for watching, and we will see you again next Monday or next Sunday if you listen to the podcasts. Bye-bye.